Hey guys, this is Stephen here with StudySess. Today we'll be looking at blood flow through the heart. As you may well know, the heart is one of the most important organs within our body. The purpose of the heart is to pump blood throughout our body. It takes the deoxygenated blood and then pumps it into the lungs to reoxygenate, and then pumps the reoxygenated blood throughout our body so that it can do its vital processes. What we'll do is we'll look at the components of the heart first, and then we'll look at how the blood flows through it. Let's begin by looking at the vena cava. The vena cava acts like a vein in which it brings blood into the heart. That's what a vein does. And so a vena cava brings in deoxygenated blood from our body into the heart. There's two ends called the superior end and the inferior end. This refers to where in the body the blood is coming from. The superior end is from the top half of our body, so like our torso upwards, and it's the deoxygenated blood coming from the top half of our body into the heart. The inferior end is coming from the bottom half of our body, and so that refers to things such as the waist downwards and all the deoxygenated blood from there. And so that's where the deoxygenated blood comes from, into the heart. The blood then falls or pulls within the first one of those two pumps I was referring to. So a pump within the heart is made up of two components. It has the atrium and the ventricle. So the blood coming from the vena cava flows into the right atrium first, and that's where it pulls, and then once enough of it has filled up the atrium, it pushes its way into the ventricle. The ventricle fills up and pushes that blood into the pulmonary artery. An artery, unlike a vein, means that blood is flowing from the heart to its destination, so throughout the body. But in this case, because it's saying it's pulmonary refers to the lungs, and so the blood flows from the vena cava into the right atrium, into the right ventricle, and out into the lungs through the pulmonary artery. In the lungs, the blood becomes reoxygenated, and so it gains that oxygen, and then it flows back through the vein, the pulmonary vein, into the left atrium, where it pulls again. So once again, the vein is blood flow back into the heart, and so the blood pulls, the new reoxygenated blood pulls in the left atrium. And once that's filled, it pushes into the left ventricle. Notice that the left ventricle right here is highly muscular. This is the reason being is because the blood within the left ventricle has to be pushed throughout the body, and so it needs a lot of force in order to be able to be pushed. And so this left ventricle is highly muscular, and so the blood fills up in the left ventricle, and it's pushed out forcefully through into the aorta, which is a large muscular balloon-like structure, which pushes the blood throughout the body wherever it is needed. So, to review, let's just look at how that blood flow goes through the heart. So, to begin with, the deoxygenated blood goes through the vena cava. This deoxygenated blood then flows into and pulls in the right atrium. Once this right atrium is filled with blood, the blood will push its way through into the right ventricle, and then this will in turn push its way into the pulmonary artery, where the deoxygenated blood will become reoxygenated blood within the lungs. Then once in the lungs will reoxygenate the blood, and then the reoxygenated blood goes through the pulmonary vein, back into the heart, into the left atrium. Here, the blood will pull again until it fills up and pushes its way into the left ventricle. The left ventricle fills up and forcefully pushes the reoxygenated blood into the aorta, which will push all that reoxygenated blood throughout the body, wherever the body needs it in order to function. I hope this has been helpful. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.